So this was a bad test because the bag is not supposed to be fully submerged in water. But then there was a hurricane.
Resistance, 50 meters.
I'm supposed to be going for a hike today with Brendan, and I was supposed to be at his place by 6 a.m. It is 7:19. My biggest fear every single day is that my alarm doesn't go off. I have my Apple Watch and my phone. I set the time, I check the alarm, I start to go to sleep, I check the alarm again, I make sure the volume's up, everything. I do that every night, and for some reason, nothing went off yesterday. I looked at my watch, and my watch was like, good morning. And then I looked at my phone, and it was like, shouldn't you be up by now? And the worst part about all this is that no one believes you when you say your alarm didn't work. I never believe people when they say that, not a single time. I'm like, yeah, I bet it didn't, because it's an iPhone. Those never work. But anyways, today we're looking at the Fjällraven Tree-Kanken, made completely from trees. Yesterday, while I was walking through the horrible hurricane, I discovered a desk, and I took it home with me. What's up, YouTube? My name is Michael, and today, did you shave? It looks good. That's what I hope you say to me. So I feel like Fjällraven is just one of those brands where they have a cool name, they have a cool logo, they were made like 30 to 40 years ago, they make a rock solid product at a pretty affordable price, relatively. They just do cool things. They just like hit that sweet spot of they are retro, but also very cool. But let's chat real quick. First off, we have 3 Michaels today. We have me, Michael. We have him, Michael. You're supposed to kill a northern lanternfly when you see them because they're a very invasive and dangerous species. I have a lot of trouble doing that. I just feel like morally. And then Hurricane Michael. I wanted to test how water resistant it was, and submerging it in water is not good because it has zippers, but a perfect use case test came up. A hurricane. It is absolutely pouring. And then him, Brendan.
It'll wake you up, come on in.
Brendan is my friend. We went on a hike with a bag. I went through apparently the most intense hurricane in New York and New Jersey in ever. So I didn't know that at the time, but I went through that with the bag. And then also just a creepy thing happened in general. And like my fight was kicking in because I felt like all these people were like trying to touch me. And for the most part, I'm going to let Hurricane Mike and Hike Mike talk. If there's anything that needs to be filled in, I will do that. The 3 things I will be here for are 1, giving you the results of how waterproof this bag is. 2, I will be explaining why this bag is made out of a tree and if it is as tough as a regular Kanken or just, you know, a backpack in general. There's something very cool about it. And then 3, all my complaints about the bag summed up by saying, what is this bag even for? And that sounds like a dumb question, but I don't think it is. So follow me to the journey unknown where we go on a This is a new Green Day album.
I've owned these shorts for 10 years, at least.
They fit great. Yeah, actually there's a lot more people than I thought.
It's because we didn't leave.
It's because we didn't leave on time. I explained to Brendan that my alarm didn't go off, and then I explained before I was with you that that never works. No one ever believes that's actually true.
You can't be the person who like uses every single Apple product and who sends me a live ETA. Like, you can't be fully sponsored by like cutting edge technology and then still say no for some.
This is a good test. Okay, so like I said, first things first, this is the Fjällräven Kånken backpack. I am not Swedish. I don't speak Swedish. That felt weird that I used the same word twice, but I think that was right. I am not Swedish, but from what I can tell, Fjällräven Kånken translates to something close to carry the Arctic fox, which is actually adorable, and I love it. And the Fjällraven Tree-Kanken directly translates to carry the tree Arctic fox. There's water over there. It's Brendan over here. And there's edible mushrooms everywhere.
Everywhere.
You can eat any mushroom in the woods that you find. Mmm. Eat it.
And this is Fjällräven's first dive into sustainability with their Kånken line. Other things they've already done, like recycled polyester and nylon, but for the Kånken, this is a first.
The bag is pine weave, but is also coated in wax, paraffin wax. So it should, in theory, be fine with this.
Because all of our food,
All of our valuables.
all of our valuables in there.
My 401k's in this bag.
You have your phone?
Yeah. Well, actually, even better, dude.
No.
Ready?
What? Michael.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the bag. It's gonna be wet. Wait, is it gonna be wet?
It shouldn't be. It's dry on this side.
Like I said, first things first, this bag is supposed to be water resistant. Not waterproof, that's a very different thing. This bag is never intended to be submerged underwater, but this bag is made out of lyocell, which we will get into later, and it is coated with wax and a polyurethane. So lyocell is eco-friendly. The wax is beeswax, so I think that's eco-friendly. Maybe not for everybody, people that don't want to use animal products. And then polyurethane is oil. And the bag is also mostly lyocell, which is trees. But then there is also some polypropylene in the webbing. I don't know what the webbing is. I couldn't figure that out, but that is also petroleum and a fossil fuel. It is a big leap forward. It is not 100% sustainable or anything like that, but very close. I also think the zippers are plastic and all that stuff. But anyways, we will get into a specific perfect use for all this water resistance additives added to the bag. Then we'll talk about it in a little bit, but you'll see what I'm...
You can put his iPhone in a river, but that iPhone can't wake him up reliably in the morning. No.
I will also, I feel like I have to say, Fjällräven makes these bags look way cooler on their site than in real life. They have that like different color, lighter green, darker green, or like different color yellow. In the pictures, that's actually not on the bags. I'm assuming after you use the bags for a while that'll come out, but typically you see that when there's a lot of wax on the backpacks. These, I don't think have a lot of wax on the bags at all. I think they are waxed, there's just not a ton. But you can always get one of their wax bars and do it yourself.
What's at the top? What do we have to look forward to?
I mean, it's just a view of the 80 and the Delaware water gap.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's it? Brendan just tried to inform the literal mountain master how close we are to the top, and he was like, I know. Also, if you want to know an alternate route to get there, here's how. Brendan goes, hey, just, by the way, the top is 20 minutes away. He's like, okay, I know. We're covered in sweat. I'm in jeans.
Pine weave, that is what this bag is made out of. It is a type of lyocell. There is something that makes it way tougher than normal lyocell that Fjällräven talks about, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Lyocell is the modern eco-friendly of viscose, V-I-C-O-S, I don't remember. But the way that used to be made was very unenvironmentally friendly. So now lyocell is a very similar product, made from wood chips, and then it gets like chemically made into like this pulp. It's dried, it's spun, and then it's lyocell. So they're made the same way, except lyocell, all of the chemicals and water and everything that's used is 95% recyclable. So they keep most of it. Although it is very important to note that making lyocell is very energy intensive. So it's not off the hook yet. Lyocell is basically made by taking a bunch of wood shavings, making it into this pulp, whatever, so on and so forth. The thing is though, there's lyocell and pine weave, and they both use different fibers. So when a thread is being made, fibers are spun into the thread. But there is something called staple length, which we've talked about before. Staple length is how long are these little shredded fuzzy things that get wound up into a thread. There are staple fibers that have staple lengths, and then there are filament fibers, which can theoretically be as long as you can imagine. Now, lyocell is typically staple fibers, so a bunch of short fibers all spun together to make a thread. Pine weave is a filament fiber, so a bunch of as long as they need to be fibers all wrapped together to make a thread. And what you get out of that is a lot more strength and a lot more durability. And basically all natural fibers are staple fibers like cotton, and that's why sometimes jeans look fuzzy. But nylon and polyester, for example, are filament fibers, and they usually have a reputation of being very tough and hard wearing, more resistant to tear in general. So that's why pine weave is suitable to be in a backpack or something like that, because it's way tougher than normal lyocell.
So there's no wind.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out why it's so quiet. There's no wind.
I don't know if it comes across on video. It is like the actual dynamics of our voices sound different because there is no noise.
It feels wrong to speak.
It does. It really does.
Or move. I feel like this is
This is like a real life siren.
yeah.
Siren never played a beautiful song. It was just the first time they truly heard silence.
And then we become trees.
Yeah. The siren never played a beautiful song. It was just the first time they truly heard silence.
The second thing about pine weave is that it's fully traceable. So Fjällräven knows every little thing that happens to those specific forests in Sweden where they get their trees and then how it's made into pine weave. So that's very cool. And a very big part of being eco-friendly is knowing how your supply chain works. In my personal opinion, it feels just like a regular canvas, maybe a little bit more silky, but like I said, it is coated in wax and polyurethane, so I think that adds to it a lot. But it feels really tough. I wouldn't imagine this is gonna rip anytime soon. And also, very importantly, I trust Fjällräven with my life. So when they say it's tough, I believe them. Okay, so before we get into the water test, I want to give you my thoughts on the bag because this is where it gets a little weird.
Kind of wood.
We could go down.
Oh, there's a perfect spot over here.
Wow, I really want to go in. Ah. It tastes good.
The thing I should say is, the bag is great. The bag is incredible. If you want a Kånken, these are incredible. These are perfect. If you want just a regular backpack, these are perfect. But the thing that confuses me a little bit is what is the purpose of a Kånken backpack? I still don't really know because the Kånken was born because I think in the 70s people had bad backs everywhere. Just everybody had a bad back, it was slanted one way. The founder of Fjällräven basically said, hey, most kids when they're going to school have like a sling and that pulls them to one side, so I bet that is not good for their posture. What if we did 2 straps? And everybody evened out and started walking great. But to all of my knowledge, that is the original purpose of the Kånken backpack for school children, and nothing's changed except how Fjällräven markets the bag. Now I feel like Fjällräven completely pivoted into just hiking and doesn't advertise this as a school bag that much. So you see like this man and woman clearly going on a hike and they have a water bottle in their backpack and it looks like big and it looks like it works really well, and it doesn't really, it's not a good hiking backpack. If you have a water bottle, it doesn't fit on the sides. If you want to use this as a school backpack, my iPad, which is pretty small, didn't really fit that well in the pocket. And even Fjällräven says that pocket isn't made for laptops. So I think I kind of know the vibe of the Kånken. And then if you think about it that way, it makes a lot more sense. But before I get into that, let's talk water, baby.
The test, ready? There's zippers, so I don't expect it to have worked. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't work that well.
So, like I said in the beginning of this video, obviously the Fjällräven Kånken failed the submersion test, or just, I basically shoved the bag in a rushing stream just to see what happened. I knew what would happen. The zippers are not water resistant or waterproof at all. They let water right in. The way that the bag is stitched, water will come through the threads, so it's definitely not waterproof. But then I took it outside for this hurricane. And it's very important to note that this hurricane was basically like drowning outside.
It's so windy, the rain is actually hitting me so hard that it hurts. So I've been using the backpack as a shield.
There's one point here.
I'm on my way back home. The rain is actually so bad.
The rain was hitting me so hard that it felt like a bunch of people were like tapping me and poking me, and I was getting goosebumps, and like my fight was kicking in because I felt like all these people were like trying to touch me and I wanted to run home. And then, as I was thinking how scary the rain was, someone actually tapped me on my shoulder, and it was this guy.
Are you texting out your jacket? What are you doing?
And we were talking and I was trying to figure out what he was doing, and he was just like, oh, it was raining, so I figured I'd go look at the ocean. And then I thought, I also was doing the exact same thing as him. Point being, this was an exceptional case of rain. It was raining insanely hard, So sadly, the Fjällräven Kånken failed that test too. But I will disqualify that as well because it was raining so hard, my boots filled up with water and my jacket started to leak. I've never seen rain like that before, so it gets a pass there. So here's where everything ties in. Who is this bag for and what is the point of it being water resistant? I think it's for exactly what Fjällräven made it for 50 years ago, and that is a school child. And I think that's it. And I think the reason it's so durable and tough and constructed like that is because if you're a kid and you're walking home from school with your friends, or you're going like on a walk in the woods with the friends, or like just, you know, having fun and imagining and stuff like that, you don't take like specific backpacks for anything. So the job of this backpack is to just work. And that is why the straps are so small when you try to put them around yourself. That is why the bottom strap doesn't really fit like a giant yoga mat or anything. I think Fjällräven just kept it as a school child's backpack, and everybody else kind of adapted, and then Fjällräven marketed it towards hiking adults, which that's the only thing I was like, I don't know if it's, I don't know if that fits, but it's a banger bag.
Body heat, body heat. Yeah, I gotta go in.
Oh yeah, it is chilly, right?
There you go.
Wow. Oh no. Okay, alright. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I guess we gotta go in.
Okay, the hike's done, but there is one more thing left to do that Brendan and I have been talking about since we started this journey.
Empty scale. But okie dokie, that's about it. I will see you next week when we look at some very rare Levi 501s that cost like $600.